Hey, sorry everybody, I'm a minute late here. I was got something on my mind there. I was thinking about it. Also, I looked down. It's 8:31. But anyway, welcome all to the Wholesale Real Estate Investing number 238 by SAHA on this Wisdom Wednesday, February 23rd, 2016. I'm Paul Romero, hanging out here from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome all of you wholesalers. Welcome all of you property noodlers who are part of the team, and welcome all you who are interested in wholesale real estate, especially you guys. This is a great place for you to learn and get information about what it really takes to be successful in wholesale real estate, and get a little bit of an insight as to what the property noodler system is. If you are interested in that, obviously you can send an email to propertynoodlers@gmail.com. Let us know that you have interest in what we do, and we could love to sit down and talk with you if you're here in Phoenix, or talk to you on the phone if you're somewhere else in the country, because we are looking to go global. I don't know if we can go global, but definitely nationwide with our property noodler program. So anyway, with that, again, welcome all. I'm so glad to have you here on the show today, but I'm going to give you a fair warning. This is going to be a little bit of an angry show today, all right? And some of you might walk away from this a little bit hurt by where we're going to go on our subject matter today. It is a Wisdom Wednesday, and I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, you're going to gain some wisdom that's going to either cement you in as a wholesaler, or some of you are going to take this as an inspirational kick in the tail, and you're going to look down and see that you're standing in wet cement, and you're going to be willing to step out of that cement and shake off your boots and go, I'm going to do this. Okay, because that's what it takes. It takes your owning up to it. I'm actually, reason why this is kind of an angry show is that I'm actually a little bit disappointed in my team. All right, we've got 12 people on our team right now, and 3 or 4 of them are doing it. They're putting in the effort. They're making it happen. They're getting deals. They're getting training. They're doing the things that they need to do to be successful, and I'm very, very proud and happy of them with them. I got another 3 or 4 people who are, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, because we're, the system is still in developmental stages in certain areas, and maybe these 3 or 4 people didn't have clear direction on exactly what they need to be doing, in what order they need to be doing it, and how they need to be learning, and what they need to be learning, and where they need to be putting their focus, and learning and growing and doing the things that they need to do to build their success. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to step up and take action. And then I got another 4 to 6 people on the team who I'm pretty much ready to give up on. All right. If you guys are on the team and you're watching this, and you're in this 4 to 6 people, it's time to step up your game. We had a training call last night, and I had 5 out of 12 people on the training call. Very disappointing. I know that a couple of people work and could not be there, but the rest of them should have been and were not. Very disappointing. So the thing is, as the title says, are you just going to want it? Are you just going to sit back and, expecting it just to happen, just because you paid in, or you read, or, you've been going to seminars, or whatever the thing is that, somehow it's all just going to happen for you? Well, it's not. Okay. Nothing is just going to happen. Nothing ever just happens. Okay. The only thing that ever happens is what you make happen. That's the bottom line. All right. You have to make it happen. Your actions, you have to take action. Nothing's going to just happen if you just sit there and read about it and think about it and buy into it and do whatever those things are that you think is going to make a difference, until you actually get off your butt and do something. That's the bottom line. You have to do something. And the first thing that you have to do, you've got to take responsibility for it. You need to own up to it. You need to look yourself in the mirror. And I just had a hangout because we have a couple of businesses that we run. And I just, on the previous hangout, because I've been lacking in the other business and not taking initiative in there and doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, I had a slap in the face this morning. I looked in the mirror and I placed all the blame on myself. And you know what? I'm taking full responsibility for it. And I understand that the reason why it is what it is, or why it isn't what it isn't, why it isn't what it is because of me. Period. End of story. Bottom line, you need to take 100% responsibility for what you have and what you do not have in this life right now, in your business, in your desire for becoming a wholesaler, for making money in real estate, becoming an investor. If you're not happening, if it ain't happening for you, it's because of you. Those in our system, very disappointed in, are the ones who aren't taking responsibility. And I'm going to go to this little book here that I found. We found in a house that we're cleaning out, a house that we're wholesaling, that we're flipping, and there's a lot of stuff in there. And we had to get a lot of stuff out of it in order to flip this property, get it prepared for the end buyer, our investor. And but there was a whole bunch of books in this house, and I scored up a bunch of really cool books. And this one that I got here is very, very interesting. It's from the 60s, no less, and it is called Mental Fitness. And it's written by a doctor, William B. McGrath, MD. And I'm not quite sure exactly if this book is about like a training book for psychologists and psychiatrists, or if it's a book for patients to understand psychology and psychiatry and why they might be, going for treatments. Not quite sure exactly where this book goes yet. It seems to be going a little bit both ways right now. I'm only a little bit into it, but I'm into a section right now that is definitely geared towards, I believe, the doctors, the psychologists, understanding the science. And the chapter is actually called "There is a Science of Psychotherapy," and it's understanding. It's explaining to the psychologists, the doctors, the psychiatrists, whatever, sort of the program of how psychiatry works and why. And it's a section here talking about the patient. And I want to read this to you right now because this is proof positive of what I was just talking about in you taking responsibility for your own success and your own actions and your own life and what you have going on. And it says right here, the issue, the crucial point, is whether the individual is willing to assume all 100% of the responsibility for the role he will play in his life. It says over and over again, the patient will resist. Doctor, I'm ready to admit that it is partly my fault, but, okay, the patient who persists in attributing even part of his difficulties to someone or something outside of himself, childhood, marriage, job, boss, wife, kids, whatever, can never attain the dignity and confidence of self-determination. Self-determination. If you want to be a real estate investor, if you want to become a wholesaler, you need to have the dignity and confidence of self-determination. You need self-determination. It just said right here, if you are someone who persists in attributing even part of your difficulties to someone or something outside of yourself, you will never have it. You will never have it. The individual who is willing to assume 100% of the responsibility for the role that he will play in his life. Are you getting what this means? There is no one to blame, okay? There is nothing to blame. You cannot blame the economy. You cannot blame the government. You can't blame the churches. You can't blame your bosses. You can't blame your job. You can't blame your wife, your family, your kids, your uncles, your aunts, your upbringing, your childhood. You can't blame any of that. There's only one thing to blame, and it's right there in the mirror. You can't complain about any of this stuff because the only thing that there is to complain about is right there in the mirror. And there is no justification for your lack of effort, for your lack of initiation, for your lack of doing, for your lack of, I'm not going to use the word, I'm not going to use the word trying, because you know what? That in and of itself is a problem. For your lack of action, for your lack of doing, for your lack of initiation, there's no justification for that, because there is nothing to blame and there is nothing to complain about except for what's right in the mirror. The only justification is the fact that you can say, hey, you know what? Only reason that it's not here is because I haven't done it, because I'm not doing it, because I have been slacking off, because I haven't been learning the things that I'm supposed to be learning, because I have not applied anything, because I have not that's all there is. And once the minute that you step up and you take that responsibility, that is when you can begin to develop the dignity and confidence of self-determination. And you can get up off your tail and you can get out there and you can pick up that book and you can read it, or you can go and watch that video and you can turn around and say, you know what? This is what they said to do. I'm going to go do it. Because until you go and do something, nothing is going to happen. That's the bottom line. You can't just expect something to happen. You have to do something if you want something to happen. If you want things in your life to change, if you're not happy with your life, if you aren't pleased with all the things that you have right now, if you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life. The first thing you need to change is who you're blaming and what you're complaining about and how you're justifying it. And once you put it all right here, once it's all sitting right here on your own shoulders, and you said, okay, you know what? The burden is upon me. I'm taking this load and I'm walking with it. Then you can start chucking off the bricks. The load can get lighter and you can start making it happen. Like I said, I'm throwing it in your face. If you want to advance from a wholesaler to a wholesaler into a real estate investor, you need to look down right now and say, I'm never going to run standing in wet cement. Whatever it is that's holding me back, I don't care. I got to put it aside and I got to just do it. And if I'm scared, embrace it. If I'm afraid of somebody saying no, look forward to it. People are going to say no. There's no question about it. You're never going to avoid that. We get no all the time. That's the beautiful thing. A no is a beautiful thing. A no is just as good as a yes, because a no says, all right, hey, that one's off my plate. I'm done. Next. Another no says, hey, there's another one off my plate. Next. Another no says, hey, there's 3 off my plate. I'm getting closer to a yes. The more no's I get, the quicker I'm going to get to a yes. And you know what? As a team, the more no's we all get, the quicker we're going to get to a yes. You have to embrace the fail. Yeah. You have to know that you're going to fail. You have to accept the fact that you're going to fail. Everybody else is going to tell you you're going to fail. You have to say, you know what? You're right. I know I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail a whole bunch of times, but through my failing, I'm going to succeed. You have to be ready to get shot down. You have to get ready to see all this negativity come at you, and you got to put up your fight your way through it. Because when you start fighting your way through it, all of a sudden, boom, and all this negativity, you see a light. Wow, what's that? Hey, boom, let's go see. And there's something good, and there's a success, and then you can get excited. It's not easy. I'm telling you guys, it is not easy. This game is not easy. Wholesale real estate is not easy. There's 2 main factors that make it difficult. There's 2 main factors that get people out of the game before they ever get started. One is money. Money and lack of direction. Because what happened is with lack of direction, it costs you more money. And people run out of money. People put all their money in, and then they find out that they need to put more money in, and they're done. People put money in and they don't do anything with it, and they say it was a waste, and they're done. And the other thing that doesn't make this game easy, we talk about it all the time, it's people. This is a people business. You are not going to be successful flipping houses on the couch, doing it all from your computer. At some point in time, there is a piece. You can do a lot of it sitting on the couch from your computer. Trust me. You can do a lot of it. But at some point in time in every deal, you're going to have to talk to somebody. Okay? There are systems. There are systems out there that say you can do all this stuff, automatically send out offers, and get contracts back. But there's a lot of money involved in that, because that's a huge numbers game. You have to do a lot going out to have a little bit coming back to make a lot of money in it, to make any money in it. So there's the money thing. And even with that system, there's still going to be times that you actually have to talk to people. There's no getting around it. So that is the biggest, obviously, area that most of you guys out there either feel that you can't do, feel that it's not you, feel that there's no way that you could ever learn to be that person, feel that, that's something that you absolutely hate, but it is learnable. You can get over the hate, or you can get over the dislike, the discomfort. It is learnable if you really want it. And if you really want it, you've got to take responsibility for the fact that the only reason you don't have it is the man in the mirror, or the woman in the mirror. That's the only reason you don't have it. I cannot say enough times that it all comes down to you. When I first started in this business, I was not that person. I couldn't be hosting a Google Hangout here and giving information out, talking to you people out there, even though we're not even live. I couldn't be holding our bi-monthly meeting and standing up in front of a group and teaching wholesale education and passive income education and investing, money investing into real estate education and networking education. I couldn't do any of that stuff if I was or when I first started out in this business, but I'm doing all of that now. I hated all that stuff back then. If you would have asked me if I was going to be doing any of that stuff back then, I would have said, you're freaking crazy. There's no way. That's not me. I'm not that kind of person. I could never do that kind of thing. And here I am doing it. You know why? Because I took responsibility. I wanted things in my life to change. And I knew, well, I didn't know at the time, but I found out that if I want things in my life to change, I have to change things in my life. And the things that I had to change in my life, again, right here, mostly right here, was me. Some right here too. My heart and my desire, my focus. What is my goal? What do I want out of this? I had to rein in a lot of loose stuff, throw out a lot of things that didn't make any sense anymore, and narrow my focus and really determine what it was that I wanted. You got to start with all that. You got to start figuring out what it is that you really, really want. And as you start narrowing that down, you need to just start going for it. Just start doing it. No holding back. I talk to so many people who tell me, oh yeah, God, that's awesome. I want to do that. Oh, you're teaching how to do that? You got a system to how to do that? Oh, where do I sign up? Let's do this. Evidence, 12 people. We set a number of 12 people, beta testers, so to speak, that we were going to bring into our system absolutely free, no cost, no charge. And here's the results. 50% or less will actually push it to the limit and make it happen. 50% or more are probably going to be heading out the door. Therefore, the system now costs money. Understand that if you send us an email to propertynoodlers@gmail.com and you're interested in what we do and want to join this team or want to help us build a team in another city, it's going to cost money. That's the bottom line. But hey, that's going to weed out some of the folks that just aren't going to do it anyway. So we no longer have time for those who just aren't going to do it anyway. We've made it as simple as possible. We've made it as cheap as possible. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. We're not talking $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 here like, you hear in a lot of places. I love that guy every morning. But that's the way it is, right? Cash is a filter. Cash is a filter of determination. And that's where we're at now. So anyway, guys, I hope I haven't offended all of you. The ones that I have, I hope you find something for you that you can do that works, that helps you change your life and become successful in some other area. So what I said today applies there too. Keep that in mind when you move on to your next shiny object. And with that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to create, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. And I hope you guys desire to take the responsibility of your own life and get out there and make it happen, whether it's wholesale real estate or something else, whatever it is, take responsibility for it.